The Indian textiles industry wants tweaking of the South Asian Free Trade Area rules of origin to make use of yarn and fabrics of Indian origin mandatory for exporting apparel to India, according to Confederation of Indian Textile Industry Chairman Sanjay K. Jain. Bangladesh exporting apparel to India duty-free is benefiting China's textile exports, he said. Egyptian textile exports fell by 4% during January 2018 to $62 million compared to $64 million in the same month last year, according to the Egyptian Textile Export Council. The Ministry of Industry, whose strategy of regulating imports led to exports reaching $22.4 billion in 2017, an 11% rise, aims to raise exports to $25 billion in 2018. As U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive memorandum on March 22 imposing retaliatory tariffs on up to $60 billion in Chinese imports, the latter quickly responded by proposing a list of 128 U.S. products as potential retaliation targets. The U.S. step aims at penalizing China for practices that it claims involve stealing U.S. firms' intellectual property. Labor rights in the garment industry, tariff-free access to Bangladeshi goods, education and the Rohingya crisis were the key issues discussed in the second Bangladesh-UK strategic dialogue held in London last week. The United Kingdom assured tariff-free market access for Bangladeshi goods entering the UK market after the latter leaves the European Union. China's Alibaba Group will invest a further $2 billion in Singapore-based Lazada, a Southeast Asian online shopping giant, as part of the group's efforts to accelerate the region's e-commerce, the company recently announced. The move will deepen Lazada's integration into the Alibaba ecosystem and makes the latter's total investment in the former $4 billion. Indian industry representatives recently voiced their dissent over negotiations on e-commerce regulations at the World Trade Organization in a meeting with its Director General Roberto Azevedo in New Delhi organized by the Confederation of Indian Industry. Azevedo was in India to participate in an informal ministerial meeting on March 20 hosted by India. India is expected to turn the most important market in terms of turnover by the end of this year for Switzerland-based British organization, the parent company of Buddha India, surpassing Italy, according to BSO Director Christine Buddha-Schmidt, who was in Kolkata recently. India is already BSO's top market in terms of number of pairs sold. The Tyre-Upper Exporters Association has urged Indian Minister of Commerce and Industry Suresh Prabhu to initiate steps and offer incentives to the ready-made garments sector till free trade agreements are signed with the United States and the European Union, creating a level playing field for the industry compared to competing nations. Log on to www.fibre2fashion.com and stay updated with more textile stories.